Hi everyone, I'm Janelle Plaskett, the editor-in-chief of FireRescue1.com. Thanks for listening in today to stay up to date on how the current civil unrest following George Floyd's death is affecting firefighters across the country. Fire Rescue One has been reporting on this dynamic situation from the outset, and I'd like to highlight some of our coverage efforts for you today. Minneapolis firefighters were the first to face the civil unrest, responding to a spike in fire incidents on the first day of significant protests and riots. Minneapolis Fire Chief John Frutel explains the department's cautious approach to fire operations during the riots, as well as how police officers are escorting firefighters to help them gain access to fire scenes. The chief discusses the department's task force approach and shares a message with the community as well. From this article, Fire Rescue One also shared supportive comments from fire service leaders and members of the Fire Rescue One community who applaud the chief's safety focus. IUC President Gary Ludwig notes that it may go against firefighters' DNA to watch a fire burn and not do anything about it, but he sees departments using the proper strategies to wait and not rush in order to protect their members. Unfortunately, firefighters have found themselves the target of attacks. The article, Firefighters Attacked, Apparatus Damaged During Civil Unrest, captures many unfortunate examples, including smashed apparatus windows, objects thrown at crews, and even a defaced memorial. We've been updating this article as we learn of new incidents. Fire Chief Mark Bayshore also writes about two alarming incidents, one in Richmond, Virginia, where protesters tried to block an apparatus from getting to a structure fire where a child was trapped, and the other, an incident in Charlotte, North Carolina, where crews dodged projectiles while trying to rescue a protester who had fallen into a street grate. Related to this Charlotte incident, Chief Bayshore interviews Division Chief Kent Davis, who details the incident and explains how the department's police assist companies work, similar to a rescue task force model. You can listen to that Side Alpha podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, and several other podcast platforms. As social unrest grew in the initial days, many fire departments quickly turned to social media for their communication efforts. We've compiled a look at how fire departments around the country are connecting with their communities, some seeking to assure citizens of their continued presence, others reinforcing curfews or sharing safety measures, and even some pleading with protesters to remain peaceful and allow firefighters to do their jobs. There's another side of social media to talk about, though, a potentially dangerous one. Fire Rescue One has been covering the news related to fire service personnel who are facing serious career consequences after posting comments about the protests or protesters on social media. We've compiled several examples of such posts that are landing members in hot water. As Deputy Chief Billy Goldfeder reminds us, at the end of the day, you can post whatever you want, but then understand that you own the consequences too. This is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of our coverage efforts, so I encourage you to visit FireRescue1.com for additional reporting and analysis. Thank you again for listening, and continue to check Fire Rescue One to stay up to date on the latest developments. Be safe.